get good at something, become the best at something, and delegate everything else. If you can become the best at something, when you're good enough, the money will find you. The money will literally find you when you're good enough. Artists strictly focus on the music and they begin to get raving fans. Then they focus on the business, right? So get so good that people can't ignore you. Get so good at helping your customers. Get so good at trading. Get so good at speaking. Get so good at motivating that you can't help. Like Eric Thomas is so good at motivating, you can't help but know about who he is. So the first thing is just making today your masterpiece. When you wake up, your first thought is, first of all, when you get out of bed, every successful person I know, it doesn't matter how they feel, they're tired or not, they have such a mission, they're so devoted to their calling and what they want, whether it's impacting people, whether it's helping customers, whether it's changing the narrative, like Katrina said, whether it's generational growth and wealth. Like when your feet hit the ground, you have to be like, the world's not ready for me. I'm up. It's go time. Versus like, oh my gosh, right? Like most of society, the first thing they do is look at their phone or watch the news. Like it's like the dumbest thing you can do because you're starting your day negative. So start it in a positive spot, right? But maximize your 24 hours. John Wooden used to say, he's one of the winningest coaches of all times. He said, you have to give 100% each day. Whatever you don't give today, you can't make up tomorrow. So if you give 75% today, and I'd be willing to say that society on average probably gives 30% of their potential. If you give 75%, you can't give 125% tomorrow to make up for it, right? And the opportunities most people miss is they don't predetermine or prepare for their day, right? Or they don't fully think things through. They don't have a blueprint for being massively effective throughout the day. So underneath maximize your 24 hours, what is your prime time? Think about the best, most natural time of day when you're the most, you have the most willpower and you're fired up. You need time for thinking and you need time for execution, okay? If you don't think, you're at the mercy of your circumstances, okay? There is a time for thinking and a time for doing. And the key is not to think when you should be executing and not to execute when you should be thinking. Because too much thinking without any execution will leave you stressed and frustrated. Just like too much action without any thinking will leave you stressed and frustrated. So the world's most successful people, they know when to think and they know when to execute. When I plan my week, I do everything I can to get into a peak state of mind. Whether it's looking at my goals, listening to my favorite music, working out, thinking, strategizing, meditating, looking at my son, talking, whatever it is, I get in the peak state of mind. Then I plan my week. I plan my entire week when I'm in the best state of mind possible, right? Now, throughout the week, you have to admit to yourself, you won't always be in the right state of mind, but you don't want to make decisions when you're not in the right state of mind. So you tell yourself, I already made this decision to work out this morning or to call my clients or to put together this referral program. I already said I was going to do this when I was at my best self. Why would I let my weak self make decisions when my best self was making them for my future self? And another thing when it comes to productivity is multiplication by subtraction, taking things away and focusing on what matters. You can be more productive. A lot of people talk about to-do lists. I talk about not to-do lists. So start taking things away, and whatever your highest values are, this is a little hack, whatever your highest values are, measure everything against that. So for me, when I was in the trenches, when I was 23, 24, and I was dead broke, I needed to make money, right? So anything that came to my desk or came across my cell phone or came to me, is this gonna produce profits for my business and help me build financial freedom, or is it gonna take it away? And I would say no if it was taking it away, and yes if it was bringing profits. Now it's peace of mind and family. Number 2, design over willpower. Okay, this is some higher level stuff that is really helpful for productivity and for big results. There's 3 steps to getting something done: feelings, willpower, or design. Okay. Most people are in the feeling section. If they feel like doing it, they do it. If they don't feel like doing it, they don't do it. But here's the problem. Those who only do what they feel like don't do much. Okay? So you need to be principle-based and standards-based, not feelings-based. Okay? So the next step is willpower. Finding when you have the most willpower and getting your best things done when you have the most willpower. But design is way more important than willpower. So we can't depend on our feelings or circumstances. You want to do everything you can in business to move away from doing things based off moods and feelings, because I've seen moods kill more businesses than you could even imagine. Number 3, you have to create predictable growth. There's only a couple ways to guarantee your success. How do these comedians, athletes, entertainers, hip hop artists, entrepreneurs, how do they stay so consistent every single week, week in, week out, all year, no matter what? The people we look up to and respect, they're the most consistent people on the planet. How is that possible? With everything going on, with all the things in life, with all the circumstances, with family, with crazy things happening, how are these top 5% staying so consistent? These 3 things. 1, they systemize their growth. They systemize their growth. What that means is, once again, they have things that are in their schedule to allow them to grow, whether they feel like it or not. So a couple things would be, as an example, used in entrepreneurship for me, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. I'm always asking myself, what am I excited about? What am I grateful for? What am I committed to making happen? Am I being productive today? At the end of the night, how did my day go? Where did I waste time? What did I do? Did I focus on my mission and legacy? Did I add enough value? Was I locked in and serious about making my day a masterpiece? And then once a week, I do my 1.5-hour weekly master plan. Once a month, I do my monthly planning. Once every 90 days. And these are in my schedule already. So I could be in the worst mood ever. But if I just do these things that are already in my schedule, I'm guaranteeing success. Another big one is, this is a key. They focus on the one thing they're best at, and they get the best, people that have their one thing around them. So here's an example. I have a financial coach, I have a tax person, and I have an accountant. I have an executive assistant, and they all have certain things that I have to do to make sure that I'm on my game every single week. I can't be off my game if I tried, because of the people around me. So I'm not good at finances. I'm not good at taxes, but I have the best possible tax team. They tell me what to do. I'm not amazing I'm getting better at real estate, right? I love real estate. I've invested a lot, but I have a great investment team that helps me vet deals and looks at all the legalities and all the stuff. I can't focus on that. That's not my gift. So I pay people where that's their gift. Number 4, the prodigy effect. Okay, what this means is you should be working to duplicate yourself at all times. So you should never do things multiple times in your business. You should only be doing things that you're exceptional at, that produce real results, and not maintain the business. Everything maintaining should be delegated. So you literally should always be training someone else at all times to do what you do, to become better than you. The only way to create freedom in your life and business is to understand that you work for your people. They don't work for you. You work for them. You want to give them everything you have to get them the best they can be, so you can focus on big picture things. Here's 3 things you need in order to hire anybody and train somebody. This is what you need: expectations, accountability, and feedback. Giving people proper expectations of exactly what to expect. There needs to be consistent accountability until they've proven that they're self-sufficient. And there has to be feedback every single week. Feedback every single week. If it's not a strength and someone can do it 80% as good as you, delegate it. Especially if you're absolutely busy beyond belief that you're unable to get done what needs to get done on a daily basis, right? Huge key. So there's some questions about delegation, which I'll address in a second, but it's called the prodigy effect. You're always creating and duplicating yourself. So everything you're doing, document. So if you're doing something online, if you're posting something, like screen share or use Loom and record it. So now your team knows how to do it, so you don't have to do that. So that's a huge key. A lot of people aren't duplicating themselves. You have to be a people developer. If you want to grow, you have to become a people developer, development of people, which is having empathy and putting yourself in their perspective. That's next level stuff. And some of you guys might not be there yet, but it's important to understand that. And number 5 that people missed out on, the worst thing you can be right now in this crowded marketplace is just another. I don't care what you do. I don't care what business you have. I don't care what you're starting. You have to be the go-to somehow. Like, everyone is becoming real estate agents. Everyone's becoming coaches. Everyone's becoming speakers. Everyone's starting a social media marketing agency. There's a million started every day, right? And 98% fail. How did the 2% not fail? Because they're polarizing. They're different. They create raving fans, and they figure out who their target audience is, and they go after them, and they solve their problems better than anybody else. So what I mean by that is figure out what you're going to master. Like, think about Tiger Woods. It's golf. And I'm talking about just the results in the sport, not anything off the field. Think about Michael Jordan. Think about Elon Musk. Think about Joe Rogan. Once you get extremely good at one thing, then you can go to the next thing. And because you're so good at this, you have so many raving fans, they'll come here. But if you do too many things at the beginning, it's not going to work, right? Tim Grover's a friend of mine. He was Michael Jordan's trainer. So he's positioned as one of the best trainers in the world simply because who he worked with. There's a million ways to be positioned right. And I will tell you, I'm not going to dive in, but there's a training in the portal, and it's called Positioning versus Prospecting, that will teach you exactly how to become the go-to. So I would watch that training if that's something relevant to you. But a lot of people just aren't mastering their craft. Okay. Get good at something, become the best at something, and delegate everything else. If you can become the best at something, when you're good enough, the money will find you. The money will literally find you when you're good enough. Artists strictly focus on the music, and they begin to get raving fans. Then they focus on the business, right? So get so good that people can't ignore you. Get so good at helping your customers. Get so good at trading. Get so good at speaking. Get so good at motivating that you can't help. Like, Eric Thomas is so good at motivating, you can't help but know about who he is. You can't help it. He got so good, you can't ignore him. A lot of people aren't getting so good because they're doing 10 things. If you try to catch 2 rabbits, you'll catch 0. So the premise of this is just be focused, right? Be focused. Hey, what's up? And thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy this video and this content, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, put the notifications on, and I assure you, you'll love this content and these videos.